Hello, good morning. So I'm here by the lake. I'm doing my morning meditation and connecting with nature. And a thought came as I was sitting here meditating, and it's like, it's the holidays this week, and there's a lot of people in America who are going to go and celebrate what we call Thanksgiving. This is when loved ones get together. You fly in from college, fly in from another state, bringing in all the family so then you guys can dine together on this, what you guys call special reunion of the family, to give thanks for one another. And I said, well, there's a lot of times, especially speaking from my own experience, where Thanksgiving were not like a fun time to go ahead and see family members. For many reasons, it can be that the last time you saw a family member, there were some disagreement that went out of control, yelling or not agreeing with each other's perspective. And as I was sitting here, I said, okay, what can be different this year? Like understanding life from a higher consciousness, meaning understanding that we all have a different perspective in life, and that perspective that you have currently, it is perfectly designed by your upbringing, right? Like how you were raised, the information your parents gave you, the information the system gave you, whether it is, institutionalized belief like church, school. So as I was sitting here, I said, okay, how can I bring them a little clarity, not a little, a lot of clarity as to how can you handle the situation, right? So one thing that came up is like showing you how everyone in your family, including yourself, have different perspective in life. And it's all based on how you were brought up and how you process that information as to how you experience life throughout your childhood, adolescence year, and young adult year, and now, right? So one thing is that you need to remember that just like you, everyone else in your family also experienced their life in their own giving way, right? So one analogy that I have is like, imagine yourself being like in fourth grade math, right? And then you're gonna go meet your family and they're like in first grade math. And now you guys are at the dining tables and you guys are going to discuss mathematics, right? Obviously, the way you see mathematics and the way they see mathematics is going to be different. You guys are not going to quite agree in everything, okay? Because you have a different perspective on mathematics based on what you have already learned, right? And then they have a different perspective because they're yet to learn more about mathematics. So don't go and start a fight, an argument over your different perspective. It's not worth it because it will be like literally going against the grain. This doesn't mean that you're going to be silent and you're going to hold back on your own understanding of life. It just means that you, because you are in another state of consciousness, that you understand that your loved ones are acting based on their belief, right? What they believe, and based on how they have experienced life, that you're not going to take it personal. You're not going to take it personal. You, what you guys call be the bigger person, kind of. And it's more like being a more conscious person. You understand that that's where they are. And you're going to put your point across, but you're not going to take what they're going to say to you personal. You're going to deflate the energy as you are understanding that where they are in this giving moment must be respected by you because they don't know better. However, that doesn't mean that you can't teach them. You can show them stuff, like you can let them know. Obviously, let's say, for example, based on what's happening around the country, let's take an example like ICE, so if you go to your family members and the dinner comes up to be talking about like undocumented immigrants and how they should be deported and how they have no rights here, that it is okay for them to be, their constitutional rights be violated. Understand that at that moment, your family member has not experienced any form of discrimination, and they too have not experienced being violated. So they cannot connect to what these illegal immigrants might be feeling. So you, on your side, since you understand that, you take a deep breath and you just say, hey, Auntie Johnny or Auntie Jane, the reason why this is unconstitutional is because, and then you explain to them, but don't take it personal, because they're not going to understand. They have never lived the experience of being discriminated against or being violated in that form. So it's like speaking Chinese to someone who doesn't understand Chinese, okay? So eat your food with gratitude, and just be the one in the room that understands what's happening, instead of being involved and getting caught up in the drama. Be the one that sits back, enjoy the turkey, enjoy the gravy, enjoy the mashed potato and the casserole, without feeling that anything that is happening in that moment is personal. It's just not worth it, because your belief, it's an illusion anyways, and their belief is an illusion as well. So your guys are going to fight over an illusion, and I'm telling you, it's not worth it. It's not worth it to fight over an illusion. You just have to give people their space to see life from their perspective, and then you take your space. You're only going to see them for Thanksgiving, and if you don't feel like you want to go, so then perhaps you don't go. You too, you have that power. You have that power to decide whether you're going to go or not. You don't have to go. But if you're going, then take this into consideration, okay? It's an illusion anyways, and they're in another state of mind, and you speaking to them in your language, right? Although it's English or Spanish, they're not going to understand it. You guys are in a different frequency, another state of consciousness, and everyone is acting based on their perspective of life, their understanding of life. Like I said, mathematics. So if you are in 4th grade mathematics and they're in 1st grade mathematics, you guys are not going to understand. You're not going to agree on your way of seeing the mathematics, okay? So just take this with you for this Thursday coming up. Enjoy the food and sit there and give gratitude. Give thanks. Give thanks for life. Thank you.